Hey everyone, Luke here. So, I just realized that I am a complete idiot because I thought it was so hard for me to find a good battle for Badger. First, I did Guts versus Maki, but then I'm like, nah, that isn't a good enough match. Then I just sent out a match between him and Battle Beast from Invincible, which was a good matchup. But then I just realized looking through this that there are six other characters that would be good rivals for good rivals for Badger. So looking down this list, based on everything you've described about Badger, Badger is 30,000 plus years of war experience, Shadow Beast of War reputation, fights armies alone, kills archdemons, conquered purgatory, tanked god level attacks, and injured Lucifer. So yeah, so just going off those feats, I thought the dude was nearly unrivaled. But then I just realized there are six characters besides Battle Beast that would actually not only last long against Badger, but might actually make Badger have to actually try in these fights. Like the two fights I've showed, Badger was casually just fighting, like with very little care. In these fights, Badger would actually have to push himself if he intends to win. And the characters and so here's six characters. So first off, yes, Battle Beast, but he wasn't one of the six I was mentioning. Battle Beast, why he rivals Badger, one of fiction's purest warriors, lives only to fight powerful opponents, fought Thrag for days while mortally wounded, ridiculous durability and battle instincts. Battle Beast versus Badger would be two ancient war beasts testing each other until death. Which basically, if my description was terribly described, that's basically what that battle was. It was basically Badger and Battle Beast just going head to head for hours, probably days, without rest, seeing which one was superior. But at the end of that fight, Badger won, basically ripping off the lion's head as proof of his victory. Number two, Kratos from God of War. Why I didn't think of this is painful. Kratos from God of War. Like, the entire concept of this video game is basically Kratos fed up with the gods of myth, and he's like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna murder you all. And that's what he does. He kills all the gods, he kills all the Olympians, all the Asgardians. Heck, I think there might have been a game where he even, went to Egypt? I've never played God of War. I just know that there are like, how many games now? Four or five? I'm not sure. I just know that this dude is ridiculously strong. Like, I saw the death battle between Ashura and Kratos, and those two are ridiculously overpowered with their feats. And speaking of which, I'm skipping number 3 and jumping to number 4. Ashura from Ashura's Wrath. If I remember correctly. Yep, there he is. Okay, so yeah. I am actually aware of this video game. Ashura's Wrath. Seven godlike entities, each one representing the seven sins, and Ashura happens to be Wrath. And the angrier he gets, the stronger he becomes. Why he rivals Badger? Oh wait, let me read Kratos' description for that. Kratos and Badger are both god killers with centuries of battle knowledge. Is Badger considered a god killer? I don't know. I would have to ask the source, but I don't think he wants to talk right now, so I'll probably make another video explaining that later. But yeah, skipping number 3, why he rivals Badger. Ashura rivals Badger because literally fights gods and cosmic beings. Rage makes him exponentially stronger, can destroy planet level threats, refuses to die until enemies are destroyed. Ashura versus Badger would be pure apocalyptic rage combat. And considering that in my story, Badger has been hated as a monster since birth, an outcast, casted aside, hated. Even people have even targeted to try murdering Badger before he became too powerful. But this dude goes through like thousands of years of murdering demons, getting stronger, gaining a terrifying reputation. His fear factor, his aura, everything about Badger is insane. And so yeah. And the fact is that Badger for like most of his life has been consumed by this hidden like rage, this hidden wrath to just want to destroy everything around him because the world doesn't want him, so why should he let the world exist? But that's the thing. Eventually, he found a way to overcome that, meaning that the embodiment of the sin of wrath, which is the demon wrath, grows a deep hatred for Badger, because Badger goes from being rageful to being depressed to just straight up being this very chill, sarcastic dude. It's like, yeah, whatever, dude. And that angers wrath. And Ashura embodies the sin of wrath. So that would make sense that Ashura would hate Badger and would fight him. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump up a little. Now this one makes a lot of sense. From Doom. Why he rivals Badger? Slaughters demons across hell for eons, feared by hell itself, nearly unstoppable in battle, infinite stamina and relentless aggression. Badger and Doomslayer would basically be two demon extinction events colliding. Like, I don't know if these two would actually be enemies and fight each other, be friendly rivals to see who can kill more demons, or just be two chill best friends. I don't know what dynamic Badger and Doom Slayer would have, but I doubt it would be enemies. Anyway. And then we have Cosmic Garo from One Punch Man. Why this makes sense. Genius martial artist, adapts to any fighting style instantly, evolution during combat, can match extremely powerful opponents. Garo adapts combat evolution, makes him terrifying against long experienced warriors like Badger. But considering is can Badger actually match Garo, like Cosmic Garo, who is on the same level, or supposedly was on the same level as Saitama? The thing is, I don't know. Can Badger beat Garo? I don't know. This dude is easily tier 3. Ignoring that. Okay, what's next? Number 6. Gorr the God Butcher. Why he rivals Badger. Kills thousands of gods. Uses the all-black Necrosword. extremely durable and relentless, fight divine beings constantly. Badger versus Gore would be a war between two mythic level god hunters. Again, I don't know if Badger is actually a god hunter. I mean, he Badger despises the gods of myth like Zeus. But then again, he is Viking by birth, so he might respect Odin and Thor, maybe. I don't know. Did I mention that Badger was Viking Ascent? Or is that new information? If that's new information, I am sorry if I didn't get to that point sooner. But yes, Badger is actually a Viking. Fun fact. Now, this is one of the things that interests me because just like Doom Guy, Gore the God Butcher has an ancient supernatural blade that I think can not only injure Badger, but just a few hits from this blade could kill Badger. But the fact is, Badger is immortal. So the question is, can the Necro Sword bypass Badger's immortality and healing factor? It definitely breaks through his durability, but can it break through his immortality? I'm not sure. I'll probably have to look that up. Badger versus Gore. And, well, let's see. The best rivals overall. Out of all of them, the two most perfect rivals for Badger are Battle Beast and Doomslayer. Makes sense. Fun fact. Based on the image you showed in Badger's lore, he actually resembles a mixture of Kratos, Doomslayer, and Battle Beast. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I do. Which is why those three work extremely well as rivals. I think so too. Let's see. Where would these rivals fit in the hierarchy? Let's find out. Kratos would be tier 4, Angel. Dang. Doomslayer would also be Angel level. Dang. Wait, how can Kratos be tier 4 while Ashura is tier 3? Cosmic Garo, tier 3. Gore the God Butcher, tier 4. And sadly, Battle Beast falls at tier 6. Which means visualizing the scaling, tier 3 fighters would be Ashura and Cosmic Garo. Tier 4 Angel level would be Badger, Kratos, Doomslayer, and... Oh, by that logic, it means that Badger would definitely beat Kratos, Doomslayer, and Gore the God Butcher, but would struggle against Ashura and Cosmic Garo. Interesting. What this means for Badger. Badger sits in a very interesting middle point. Stronger than pure physical war monsters like Battle Beast, comparable to Godslayers like Kratos and Doomslayer, slightly below true cosmic rage entities like Ashura and Cosmic Garo. So Badger occupies as perfect legendary warrior tier where he can fight both. Upward against the cosmic beings and downward against Titan class monsters. That is true. Just because Badger is titled as tier 4 does not mean he can't match and potentially defeat tier 3 characters. Now I'm not now I'm not saying Badger would beat someone as ridiculously overpowered as Genesis. He might actually last quite a bit, but I doubt he'll win. But yeah. Then we have 7 characters that would surpass Badger. The one above all, Presence, Lucifer, the Living Tribunal, Featherine, Xeno, and whatever the heck this thing is, Azeroth? Azeroth Mentheon Sphintus. Oh yeah, it's kind of like the spell that Raven from Teen Titans says over and over and over again. Simplify Hierarchy, the one above all, Beyond Multiverse, Presence Beyond Multiverse. Well, duh, the one above all and the Presence is basically Marvel and DC's equivalent to God. Multiversal Entities, Lucifer and Living Tribunal, Reality, Narrative Controller, Featherine, Universe Erasers like Xeno, and Cosmic Primordial Entities like Azeroth. Where does Badger fit? Your character sits in a rare and interesting spot, Tier 4, Angel/Divine Warrior. That means Badger can fight gods, archdemons, and cosmic warriors, but beings who control or create realities itself are beyond him. I already knew that. Oh, and here is the next character I wanted to talk about. This guy would be perfect. He is a brutal fighter, just like Badger. He's sarcastic, like Badger, and he's freaking immortal, just like Badger. You know why he's immortal? Because according to DC Comics, Lobo is such a terrible person that both heaven and hell don't want him. So if he dies, he just comes back. Also, this dude is a total sociopath who murdered his entire race. So he can be unique. That is messed up. And this dude is comparable to Superman. Freaking Superman. Not only is this character comparable to Superman in strength, in comics, this dude has come... There have been so many close calls where this dude almost killed Superman. So, what does this mean for Badger? Yes, Lobo would actually be a very interesting opponent for Badger, but overall, Badger would likely have the advantage depending on which abilities you allow. Let's break it down. Lobo from DC Comics is one of the most absurdly durable characters in comics. Physical abilities, strength, comparable to Superman at times, can lift planets or fight Kryptonians, extremely high durability. Now, I'm not sure if Badger can lift a planet. Once again, I would have to ask the source, but I'll ask him later. Healing factor, one of the most ridiculous in fiction. Badger also has a ridiculous healing factor. Like, I would feel like these two would probably just end up in a would end up in an infinite battle. Like, they're so evenly matched in power that not to mention they're both immortal with ridiculous durability and healing factor. That is there really a point to this fight? Like, I think that Lobo's probably smart enough to say, hey dude, I don't want to fight you at all because I know that there's no point to this fight. It'll just drag on forever. Let's see. Healing factor. One of the most ridiculous in fiction, can regenerate from a single drop of blood, has survived complete disintegration. Honestly, I'm not really sure where Badger's level of healing factor comes in, because Badger's immortality and durability is so ridiculous that Badger has never actually been reduced to a single drop of blood or disintegrated. So I don't really know if Badger is capable of that kind of regeneration because he's never been injured that badly. That probably gives him an advantage over Lobo, if I'm being honest. once banned from both heaven and hell, meaning he literally cannot die normally. I already made that point. Combat experience, thousands of years as a bounty hunter, fights cosmic threats regularly. Extremely brutal fighter. Badger versus Lobo, ignoring powers. If we only consider combat experience and skill, Badger 30,000 plus years of warfare, Lobo thousands of years of bounty hunting. Advantage, Badger would likely be the better tactician and battlefield strategist. Sorry. Badger versus Lobo. This is where the things get chaotic. Lobo's advantages is nearly unkillable, ridiculous regeneration, massive strength, extreme durability. Badger, higher battle IQ, shadow abilities and illusions, lightning and fire control, massive combat experience. He fought archdemons and divine beings. The big problem for Lobo. Badger has fought beings like Lucifer and archdemons. That implies Badger's attacks likely operate on a supernatural or divine scale, which could potentially bypass Lobo's usual regeneration. I have not thought of that. I'm sorry. Now I'm starting to think that these 6 rivals... I'm starting to think Badger is probably above these 6 rivals as well. Technically 7. Including Battle Beast. If we include Battle Beast and Lobo with the other 5... like, can any of them actually beat Badger? Now, I said... believe me, I said that Elytros. I personally believe that Elytros, being a tier 2 character, yeah, tier 2, Seraphim level, meaning that Elytros is probably the only character in my storyline that can actually go head to head with Lucifer. Because one of his feats, if I have not already mentioned, is that Elytros has actually fought Lucifer to a standstill. And the fact is, Elytros could have actually done a lot more damage to Lucifer, considering that Elytros purposely keeps himself young, prevents himself from aging. But the fact is, dragons, being the mythical creatures they are, the older they are, the more powerful they are. It's kind of like Badger. So if Elytros... so, hypothetically, if Elytros let himself age into an older dragon to match his experience, his power level would skyrocket. Meaning that not only would he rival Lucifer, he would probably be a near equal as an old man. But because Elytros refuses to let himself age, he is considered low Seraphim tier. Meaning that he just barely makes it into that tier with his Seraphim form. But, sorry for that. The point is... the point is that Elytros, I made basically solos most of, if not all of Fiction. So Badger, if he doesn't solo all of Fiction, just like Elytros, he comes pretty darn close. Like, I have expressed that it makes sense Badger shouldn't be able to defeat the one above all, the Presence, Lucifer, Xeno, Featherine. Like, these characters are actual, like, gods across anime and comics. So, it makes sense that Badger wouldn't beat them. But anyway, back to Badger. Back to Badger versus Lobo. Badger fought characters like Lucifer. And just for a record, I said that Badger injured Lucifer. I didn't say that Badger was a rival for Lucifer. Just because Badger lands a single hit on Lucifer doesn't really mean anything in terms of that scaling. So, just because what I'm reading here says that Badger should operate on a supernatural or divine scaling, Badger is supernatural, yes. Is he divine scaling? No. Which could potentially bypass Lobo's usual regeneration. Can Badger do that? Yes. Lobo usually survives physical destruction, but supernatural or soul leveled attacks are different. Does Badger have soul manipulation? That's an ability I need to ask. You know what? I'll probably make a short coming back to you with all these answers. But yeah. How would the fight look? The battle would probably be extremely brutal, very long, full of destruction. Lobo would keep regenerating and laughing while fighting. Badger would gradually start using strategy, elemental attacks, and shadow abilities to overwhelm him. Verdict: Badger would win 6 out of 10 fights. Reasons: better battlefield intelligence, far more combat experience, supernatural abilities that Lobo isn't used to. But Lobo still wins some battles because he's absurdly hard to kill. Power comparison in your hierarchy. Badger would be tier 4. Lobo... Lobo will fit in Myths and Legends tier. High Demigod. That actually makes sense. Lobo being high tier 5? That makes a lot of sense. So, Lobo is extremely powerful, but Badger operates on a more supernatural, divine combat scale. Fun fact. Personality-wise, Lobo would probably love fighting Badger. Lobo respects brutal warriors, and someone called Shadow Beast of War would instantly get his attention. Oh my goodness. That is insane. You know what? I'm going to keep going here, guys. This is insane. There are 4 characters in fiction that would create the most insane fights imaginable with Badger. Even more. I'm going to copy and paste that and see what happens. If we're talking about fights that would be even more brutal than Badger versus Battle Beast or Badger versus Lobo, the opponents need 3 things: extreme durability, relentless warrior mentality, power capable of fighting divine leveled beings. These 4 characters would create the most insane destructive battles imaginable with Badger. Kratos, duh. Doomslayer, duh. Ashura, duh. Garo, duh. We already went through these, so that was a waste of time. But you know what? Let's go ahead and read through this. Why this fight would be insane. Kratos has killed Olympian gods and titans, master of dozens of weapons, rage amplifies his strength in battle, ridiculous durability, and endurance. Why it would be brutal. Kratos doesn't stop once the fight begins. Both him and Badger are god killers who thrive in long wars. The fight would likely destroy the entire landscapes. Duh! Their fight would probably blow up the earth. What are you talking about? Doomslayer from Doom. Why this fight would be insane? They both slaughter demons across hell for ages. Has near infinite stamina, uses overwhelming brutality, feared by hell itself. So is Badger. Like, while Lucifer himself, being the king of hell, doesn't fear Badger like everyone else, all other demons do. Like, that is insane. Like, most of hell, like, canonically speaking, most of hell fears Badger. Except Lucifer. And maybe the other 6 princes of hell. But besides them, yeah, but besides Lucifer and probably the other 6 princes of hell, all the other, like, literally all other demons would fear him. That is insane. Why it would be brutal. Badger conquered Purgatory, and Doomslayer ravages hell. This would basically be 2 demon extinction events colliding. We already went over that. But okay. Ashura's Wrath. Why this fight would be insane. Can grow stronger through rage. Battles planet-sized gods. Has punched beings larger than planets. Refuses to die until the enemy is destroyed. Why this would be brutal? Ashura's rage escalates infinitely. If Badger punches him hard enough, the fight could escalate from planetary destruction to cosmic level. Can Badger match cosmic level beings? You know, I honestly don't know how much of this I can answer, because if you remember from before, I mentioned that the original idea for Badger was actually my brother's. He just gave me the rights to write him. So, any of these questions, I would probably have to ask him first. So, by the way, when I mentioned I need to ask the source, that would be my brother. So yeah, questions that come in mind. Is he considered a godslayer? Can he match cosmic beings? Can he manipulate souls? Those are questions that I need answered about Badger. But hopefully, everything I've gone through so far in this video helps better explain how insane Badger is as a character. I'll probably make a breakdown video of Badger, of his backstory. Okay? Why this fight would be insane. Can grow stronger through rage, blah 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 blah. Why? Yeah, okay, I already read that. Cosmic Garo from One Punch Man. Why this fight would be insane. Adaptive combat genius. Learns opponent's techniques mid-fight. Evolves constantly during battle. Cosmic energy amplifies. Why this would be brutal. Badger has 30,000 years of combat experience, but Garo evolves during the fight. The battle would become a constant escalation of skill and power. Which fight would be the most brutal? Ranking. Ranking them purely on chaotic destruction potential. 1. Ashura versus... Badger versus Ashura. Cosmic Rage Apocalypse. Kratos. Number 2. Kratos versus Badger. Godkiller War. Number 3. Doomslayer versus Badger. Endless Demon Slayer Brutality. And then Cosmic Garo versus Badger. 3 characters that would see Badger as a warrior. I don't know how much longer I'm intending to make this video, guys, but I'm gonna keep going. Which characters truly respect him? True warrior status. A true warrior in fiction usually means someone who instantly recognizes another fighter's battle spirit, experience, and will to fight based on Badger's profile of 30,000 plus years of war, demon slaying feats, and the title of Shadow Beast of War. There are a few characters who would immediately sense that. Here are three characters. Sorry. Here are three characters who would recognize Badger as a true warrior the moment they saw him. Battle Beast, of course. Of course, Battle Beast would respect Badger. Just seems right. Why he'd recognize Badger instantly? He judges warriors by their presence and battle aura. Well, duh! Badger is a major aura farmer, if I haven't already mentioned that. Has fought countless powerful beings across the galaxy. Respects only fighters who show fearless determination. If Battle Beast saw Badger, his reaction would likely be excitement. He'd probably say something like, "At last, a warrior worth killing or dying to." For Battle Beast, meeting someone like Badger would be a dream fight. Oh my goodness. Battle Beast's whole thing in Invincible is his desire to be killed by a worthy opponent. Number 2, Kratos. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Don't worry about it. My brother's dying in the other room. I am joking. I am joking. Do not take that as fact. That is how me and my brother like to joke around sometimes. He's not actually dying. Okay, so number 2, Kratos. Kratos respecting Badger. That makes a lot of sense. Kratos has spent centuries fighting gods, monsters, and titans. Why'd he recognize Badger? Kratos understands war, scars, and battlefield experiences. He respects warriors who endure unimaginable battles. His calm demeanor hides immense brutality. Kratos would likely sense Badger's experience immediately. He might not speak much, but he'd recognize that Badger is not an ordinary enemy. The fight would start with mutual respect rather than arrogance. Oh, here's one I was not expecting. I thought number 3 was going to be Ashura, because I have seen a pattern. But no. The third person that would respect Badger for his strength is none other than Son Goku from Dragon Ball. That makes a lot of sense, honestly, though. Goku being such a chill guy senses Badger's ridiculous power level. He's like, "Man, you're strong. You want to fight?" Badger would be like, "I don't think you want to fight me, dude. You die." And Goku being the... Oh my goodness. Goku being the total idiot that he is would be like, "I don't care, dude. I just want a good fight." Oh my god. Goku has a unique ability to sense powerful fighters and loves testing himself against them. Why'd he recognize Badger? Is instinctively detects powerful combatants, gets excited when meeting strong warriors, has fought gods, cosmic beings, and legendary fighters. If Goku sensed Badger's power and experience, he'd probably grin and say something like, "Well, you're really strong. Let's fight." No duh, Sherlock. Oh my goodness. Am I talking too fast right now? Oh my goodness. Sorry, viewers, if I'm getting a little too excitable about this. Unlike the others, Goku's reaction would be pure excitement and curiosity. the difference in their reactions. Battle Beast, thrilled to fight a worthy warrior. Kratos, quiet respect and cautious readiness. And Goku, excited to test his strength. All three would immediately recognize Badger's warrior nature, but they'd react very differently. Most intense reaction, Battle Beast. Out of almost anyone in fiction, Battle Beast would probably view Badger as the one of the greatest opponents he has ever encountered. Yep, and there's nothing else after that. It's not giving me another request asking, hey, is there something else in this, whatever? So, this is probably a good place for me to stop. So anyway, that is basically my breakdown of trying to explain to you people how ridiculous Badger is by comparing him to all of these ridiculously overpowered characters across fiction. Because, honestly, now, Battle Beast... So, like, I made a mistake with Badger versus Maki. No, yeah, Badger versus Guts and Maki. That was a mistake. Battle Beast, that was a good idea. But I wondered, were there stronger opponents? And then suddenly, it threw ideas at me. Like Kratos, Ashura, Lobo, Cosmic Garo, Doomslayer, Gore the God Butcher. And I'm like, how did I not think of these guys? Although, final verdict, I still think Badger would probably wipe the throat. Would probably beat all of them. Well, Kratos and Ashura would probably give him the... Well, Badger... Well, to be honest, Kratos, Ashura, and Doomslayer would probably give Badger the most trouble, forcing Badger to actually push himself to use more of his power. But besides that, I mean, Badger would probably still win. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here. So, thank you all, anyone who watched this video. I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for my next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.